8:38 a.m. Okay, so just real quick. For weeks and weeks, so long, we'll talk about it later, any news that came up on my phone, I couldn't even click it, let alone click a news app. Anything that had to do with current events that came across through a media engine, I had to read it I don't have to now, but this is just recently. I had to read it as it was appearing on your phone by the way the phone functions. And you can't click it or the whole world will explode, okay? Get it? It's a term of speech. It is like, no, don't click it. It's radioactive or something, all right? And this went on so long, we'll talk about it later. Like forever it went on, forever, a million years. And I never did, not once. No, I'm really good at my job. I know that they know that, but I'm not here to tell everybody what we all know about one another and all this nonsensical crap. This is not the point. Oh God, let's just wait for the cars. All right.
Wait, Mary Terminal.
So not the last, but one of the recent ones, when they brought in all these EU neo-Nazis to Port Townsend. At the same time, that general, I have to yell, I'm walking down the road, okay? That general was removed from EU, okay? Now I can get to the article, we can discuss like this in more depth when it's appropriate, so on and so forth, but not right now. But at the time, I had to not even acknowledge it happened, all right? But this is what I want to say, all right? And it's nice to have something to report and then to be able to, and not have to wait 3 days later, a whole day later, 10 hours later, 1 hour later. I mean, this has been the by no means whatsoever absolute way that I had to function for so long. It was a million years. And these sorts of things, you couldn't type it. Nope. And you can't put it on your little date timer. Nope. You better just remember it. And I'm out here with this fluid shit. So no, it wasn't what I was really supposed to do. Okay? But what I want to say, the point, the entire thesis here. The highest levels of the good U.S. military with their foreign allies are the ones in charge by 2026. The most sober-minded, experienced, honorable men and women with skills that I do not have. And we all know that, so I want you to understand, okay? The order, okay? They removed that general of Donald Trump's, of Joe Biden's. They're the same despots with the same motive. The good guys removed that general. Okay, to give you an idea before we hang up here, and I'll try to touch base later. These type of individuals, men and women, are on U.S. bases and are on Allied force bases overseas in secured premises, security, obviously. And they're making these decisions, okay, with the experience and the integrity that they have. They're making the decisions about nuclear subs one of the most sober conversations you can have about ICBMs. Another most sober conversation you can have that me and you folks generally don't have. Why would we ever have that? I'm not putting me or you down, but you gotta understand the order here. All right, I've walked past 2 of these fucking enemy combatants. That's what they are. I can report them now. For the last 3 days, I've seen them in trees. They're crawling up trees. For the last 3 days, no. It's left me on the ground with them, running around with my cell phone too, but I'm not doing no fucking enemy combatant terrorism with my phone. And it's left me feeling and perceiving myself to be at some sort of cockroach rank, but it's not the case. But I want to really emphasize the order here. I'm not up there removing generals out of Europe, and thank God the good guys did that. And at that same time, evil military sent a plane, man, right over Dildo's house. And with that plane comes numerous other forms of attacks. Because the good guys are in control of the U.S. military by 2026. All right, the U.S. citizens who attack their sovereign territory with these cooping military personnel members will be punished to the full extent. So I want you, instead of me having to say it, why don't you do a Google search at home, all right, and look up the consequences for engaging in treason, engaging in trying to overthrow your government, engaging in terrorism. Just look it up, because this stuff is not rewritten. To the simple fact that these despots, Biden and Trump, were under the belief that they could just put judges, put politicians, and pull a Hitler, SS, Gestapo, Third Reich maneuver. Did not work out. They tried to take over the United States with all their checkpoints. It did not work out. So I'm on the ground in certain geographic areas of the United States with the cockroaches. They're bird just shit from the sky. That's what I'm talking about. Up there, just it's a seagull. I'm on the ground here with the cockroaches of my country that will do anything to any other citizen, as well as carry out violent acts on their own sovereign territory. These are the cockroaches of the United States. So not being able to report them, not being able to talk about them, put me at this perceivably really low rank where I'm just running around like some dummy with my cell phone just being smacked and punched, chased around, because that's what it was, but it wasn't. And I couldn't ever tell anyone, can't go online, can't talk about what I've personally been doing, and certainly not anything about the good guys, and I still won't. I mean, come on, what sense is that? I'm down here with them. But I can at least talk about these enemy combatants. That's what they are. They took up arms against the United States and militias. And right now they're running around under the belief that they won't be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, which is a fantasy. So I want to remind the public the order the most sober-minded individuals in our U.S. Armed Services and our allied armed forces. Removes that general out of Europe. Okay? All right, bye.